In the quiet hush of the Ethiopian highlands, beneath the starlit skies of Roha, a boy named King Lalibela slumbers. But in the realm of dreams, the silence breaks. The heavens open, radiant and vast, and angels descend in golden light. They whisper of destiny, of a crown forged, not just in power, but in purpose. He will rise not only to rule a kingdom, but to carve a new Jerusalem from living rock, a city shaped by faith, fire, and divine command. Far from the sacred hills of Roha, a shadow awakens. In the hidden valleys and echoing monasteries, a Solomonic prince rises, a descendant of the union between King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. His voice is fire, his claim unshakable. The Zagwe kings, he declares, are usurpers, pretenders to a stolen throne. His bloodline is divine, written in ancient scrolls and royal prophecy. With sword in hand and legacy in heart, he vows to reclaim the crown ordained by heaven itself. Across the misty highlands, the silence fractures. In shadowed monasteries and mountain sanctuaries, whispers stir, urgent, dangerous. Monks huddle by candlelight, penning secret letters that slip between hands like smoke. Some speak blessings for Lalibela, the chosen builder king. Others yearn for the return of the ancient Solomonic line. The sacred scrolls offer no clarity, only tension, only prayer. Ethiopia's soul is divided, caught between two destinies, each cloaked in faith and fire. Lalibela moves with divine urgency. Across deserts and sea, an envoy gallops toward Alexandria, bearing pleas wrapped in parchment and faith. The Coptic patriarch responds, not with swords, but with something far more powerful, a sacred relic gleaming with centuries of holy fire. It is not just a gift, it is a seal of heaven's approval. With it, Lalibela's crown is transformed. No longer merely royal, it is sanctified, anointed by the church and bound by prophecy. From the southern lowlands, a storm rises. War drums echo through the valleys, deep, relentless, foreboding. Solomonic rebels, cloaked in prophecy, advance with fire and steel. Monasteries crumble beneath their fury. Ancient scrolls turn to ash. Monks flee barefoot through the forests, clutching relics, chanting psalms. Across the highlands, the air shifts. This is no longer a struggle for power. It is a battle for the soul of Ethiopia. And the kingdom braces as faith and fire collide. In the narrow mountain pass of Kokena, where cliffs loom like silent witnesses, Lalibela's army springs its trap. The clash is fierce. Blades flash, arrows scream, and cries echo off stone. The rebels fall one by one. Victory is swift, but not without sacrifice. As the dust settles, Lalibela finds his brother among the fallen, his blood soaking the earth. The triumph is hollow. A crown is secured, but at a cost carved into the king's heart. The throne holds, yet it mourns. The bells toll, low and solemn, echoing through valleys and over stone churches. Across the kingdom, Lalibela commands mourning. No feasts, no music, only silence, fasting, and prayer. Monks gather in candlelit halls, chanting psalms that ripple through the dusk like waves of sorrow. Day and night, their voices rise unbroken, a wall of faith against grief. A nation bows its head, not in defeat, but in reverence. For every fallen soul, a prayer. For every tear, a hymn. Out of exile, he returns, bloodied but burning. The rebel prince, last scion of Solomon, raises the lion banner once more. His voice, defiant as thunder, echoes across the eastern lowlands. Tribes gather. Old warriors unsheathe rusted blades. Young zealots swear oaths by fire and salt. They do not march for gold. They march for legacy, for a throne stolen, for a name nearly forgotten. A new army is born beneath the ancient sun, and with it, the promise of reckoning. Lalibela retreats into the highlands, not to hide, but to create. In the sacred mountains of Roha, stone becomes scripture. He carves downward into the earth itself, shaping cathedrals from living rock. No mortar, no scaffolds, only faith and chisel. Locals whisper that angels stood beside him, guiding each stroke. His hammer rings like a hymn. These are not mere buildings, they are a new Jerusalem, a fortress of faith, a kingdom not of gold, but of granite and grace. Pilgrims gather, their breath caught in reverent awe. In the shadowed depths of one church, a single footprint is etched into solid stone, unnaturally perfect, impossibly deep. Word spreads like fire. It is the mark of St. Tekla Haymanot, left by divine presence. Some kneel, others weep. To the faithful, it is no illusion. It is proof that heaven walks these halls. In Lalibela's holy city, the line between earth and the eternal grows thin. The Solomonic forces descend upon Wag, a city of saints and stone. Cathedrals loom against the flames, held not by soldiers, but by monks cloaked in prayer and resolve. Refusing surrender, they choose martyrdom, their chants rising above the clash of steel. Fire devours the sacred walls, but their hymns endure, echoing through the smoke like a final defiance. In death, they do not fall silent. They become legend. From a forgotten monastery, an ancient Ge'ez scroll resurfaces, its ink faded, but its power undimmed. It tells of two sons of Zion, one destined to build, the other to break. The words stir the soul of a nation. Lalibela sees divine purpose. The rebel prince sees righteous vengeance. Both lay claim to its promise. And so, prophecy becomes more than scripture. It becomes a sword drawn in the dark. As the weight of defeat presses upon him, Lalibela kneels in despair. But all across Ethiopia, a spark ignites. Torches light the night, churches burn with a divine glow, and prayers rise like smoke into the heavens. The faithful gather, pleading for salvation. And in that sacred stillness, witnesses swear the stars fell like rain. A sign, a miracle, or perhaps a warning from the very heavens themselves. A holy warrior stands before the court, his hands bound, his eyes burning with conviction. He's accused of summoning lightning itself in battle. Was it magic or the wrath of God? The kingdom holds its breath as the court debates, is he a prophet, touched by the divine, or a heretic, playing with forbidden powers? His fate will decide whether faith or fear will rule the land. In the barren deserts beyond the highlands, the rebel prince seals his fate with blood. Desert tribes, once distant and neutral, now rally to his cause, exchanging gold for camels, warriors, and weapons of war. The clash of nations turns to fire and fury as the conflict grows beyond borders and beyond reason. What began as a struggle for a throne now threatens to tear Ethiopia apart. A war not just for power, but for the very soul of the kingdom. The final clash erupts at the River Tekezé. The air is thick with the scent of blood as steel bites bone and arrows darken the sky, raining down on the warriors below. The once serene river runs crimson, its waters stained by the brutal clash of empires. No hymn rises from the battlefield. No prayer escapes the lips of the dying. Instead, there is only the deafening roar of warriors, lions in the fight, crying out as the last echoes of battle fade into the eternal silence of the land. Captured monks are paraded through the streets, their bodies bound in chains. The Solomonic soldiers demand silence, but the monks defy them. With every step, their voices rise, soft at first, then louder, filled with unwavering faith. They sing the Psalms of David, their hymns soaring higher than the crack of the whip. Each note, a defiant act of devotion, each breath, a testament to their eternal loyalty. As they march to their deaths, their voices remain unbroken, a sacred anthem that echoes through the hearts of all who hear it. Lalibela retreats to the highest peaks, where the winds are cold and the earth holds its breath. For 40 days and nights, he fasts, his body weak, but his spirit aflame. When he descends, his eyes burn with a new purpose, a vision bestowed by the heavens themselves. 13 more churches will rise from the mountain's bones, a divine command to complete what God had begun. He is not just a king. He is the architect of eternity. The work of angels will continue through his hands. With enemies closing in from every direction, Lalibela lays down his crown. The throne is passed to his nephew, but not the will of the divine. Lalibela steps away from power, not in defeat, but in sanctity. His retreat is one of spiritual elevation, his earthly reign now complete. He becomes something beyond mortal understanding, a king turned legend, his spirit eternal. In the silence of his withdrawal, Ethiopia's heart beats still, and the myths of Roha grow ever stronger. The Solomonic line rises once more. The Zagwe are no more, but Lalibela's legacy remains unshaken. His stone churches, carved from the very heart of Ethiopia, still stand, kissed by the first light of dawn. A kingdom not built of gold, but of faith, of rock, and of time. The winds whisper his name across the highlands, for Lalibela's vision, his city, has transcended history. His eternal mark remains, carved in the sacred stones of Roha.